15th, next weekend, in Sweden, actually within reach of me. I'm not going, but I could have gone, in Bohus at ALE Konfliktspel. There's going to be a tournament, 20-man tournament, and I am, of course, going to cover it. So today I'm going to go over the meta for the tournament, and hopefully I'll have time to go over some of the top lists that I think are most likely to win. And definitely I will get back to you once we have the results. So let's go and see what it all is about. So, this is the META of ALE Konfliktspel. The event itself has 1100 points. It is the armies off, plus the rulebooks, plus PDFs, depending on what you have for your army. You have a 400-point cap for armor, so you can't actually spam out like a gazillion tanks. And that means that almost everyone brings one armored platoon, but most don't bring more than 2 armored vehicles. There's a 24 order dice cap and 4 platoon cap as well. The 24 order dice cap, I think they took from my Commander's Compendium. Thank you so much for that. The 4 platoon cap, I think, is also very, very sensible. I mean, if you go above that, it's just you're spamming out units, right? And they're playing 3 games. So what is being taken? Well, Germany's still very popular. 6 out of 20 are bringing German lists, though that is a slight downward trend compared to what we've seen in the previous couple of tournaments, where Germany was very much the most popular nation. The Brits are back with their new army book. So 5 of the people are bringing Brits. That's 25%. And there are 4 Soviet lists as well. Soviets are making a bit of a comeback here, in Sweden at least. And then there's 1 each of Japan, USA, Belgium, Italy, and Hungary. Of course, this is a huge fall for the Americans. Warlord Games, take notice. It seems as if players do not want to bring competitive American armies to tournaments. Or cannot. The order dice range is between 10 and 23. No one actually took 24, which was the cap. And taking a 10 order dice list to a 24 order dice cap tournament is gonna be a struggle. Most people take 14 or 18. There's a split here. So there's a group that takes 14 and there's a group that takes 18. Which you can actually see here in, like, normally we have a bell curve in the distribution of order dice here. Not so for this tournament. It's like there are 2 metas sort of clashing here. With a couple of people taking the high order dice count between 20 and 23, 1 at 21 and 1 at 23. So most people are actually in those 2, yeah. The average is 15.5. Which means that whoever takes 10 order dice, you really are going to struggle. You're going to have to play very clever in order to make that work, because you'll be out order dice in every single game. What about the meta? What am I seeing? Well, the stats say that there's a lot of people still trying out Death Stars. That's something that we can expect now from tournaments. We've seen that repeated again and again and again. A lot of people are still taking medium to heavy tanks, especially when you're limited in the armored slot somehow. Then that makes it more likely that you'll take a heavy tank. 7 people out of 20, that's quite a lot, taking Death Star-like tanks. There are only 2 engineer platoons being taken and 0 recce platoons. Again, 0 recce platoons. It's just not working, Warlord Games. It's just not. The Brits and the French are mostly the ones taking artillery observers, with that double roll for the Brits. I mean, and the French still have a double tap. it's just a no-brainer that those are the ones doing it. I personally am not sold on the new British Forward Artillery Observer. We shall have to see what happens, whether or not I get into that. I don't know as of yet. Only 2 company officers, which is very low for me as well. I think they are very, very good. But, sometimes you can't find the points. And there are still people taking snipers, which I don't understand at all. If we look at army builds, then there are veterans everywhere. Veteran spamming is a thing, people. We need a way. If you want to win tournaments, you need a way to deal with veterans. You need a way to reliably kill veterans, because that is what everyone is taking. Regulars, if people take those, it's either to do camping with long-range firepower, LMGs, or something like that, or if you're going for a horde-style army, which I have yet to see work. Mechanized is also quite common, as a lot more so than what we are used to. But motorized still happens, so people are still taking trucks or jeeps or what have you. We shall see if that is something that works. I am not sold on the idea. I think that motorized is going to cost you, because they're very soft-skinned for me, are very vulnerable now. But we shall see. Multi-rocket launchers, very uncommon. Only one person is actually bringing multi-rocket launcher. And there is only one inexperienced horde. Something that we used to see in version 2 all the time. It's completely gone from the meta right now. Only a few people are still trying it out. MSU, though, is making a surprising comeback. Especially in combination with people's Death Stars. So what they'll typically do is they'll take the heavy tank and then they'll spam out a lot of small infantry units, inexperienced mortars, AT rifles, whatever. And that is to boost the order dice count. That is why they're doing that. Does it work? Well, we'll see. It's at least one possibility that you can very easily do now with a lot of armies. So it's one of the ways that you potentially can get more order dice into a Death Star list, and make it less reliant on taking a lot of damage before you get to activate. We'll see. My predictions are that we'll find the winner among these 5. Lars is bringing a 13 order dice British list. It is low on order dice, but it is almost all of it is mechanized, and it's got a good selection of tanks. So I think he's very mobile and could potentially deal with the trouble of being low on order dice. Joel, whom I've met and is a very nice guy, 15 order dice Italians. He is doing camping with darker tanks. It works. It really does work, right? Especially if he gets open tables. That is going to be a benefit for Joel. Jeremy, 14 order dice, Hungarians, veteran spam, and armor. Again, something where you have to go straight at them. That always works out in your favor. So Jeremy is also one of my favorites to win this, as is Jonas Rennen with his 15 order dice Germans, which is a mix of barbecuing and multi-rocket launchers. Now, the reason why I have Jonas Rennen here is because Jonas is one of those people who have been on the Swedish national team. He's been captain of it. He knows what he's doing. He's played Germany so much. And this is a mix that I've seen from Jonas before. He can make this work. And the trick here is that he'll bombard you until you move up, and then he'll throw his barbecue at you and kill you where you stand. Eintos Flammenwerfers. So cool. 15 order dice is also pretty good, right? And then finally is Martin, 18 order dice Soviets, which is a nice mixed bag with a very high order dice count. I think that can do very well as well. One of the things that I've always sort of wondered about in all the V3 tournaments I've covered so far is that Soviets seem so not popular, and I don't get it, because I think the Soviets really can do mixed bagging right now and have all the tools that are available to the Germans, just cheaper and different. So I think he can do well. So my thanks to Patrick, who sent me all of this information and kept me on it. I knew that the ALE Konfliktspel was going to happen. I just, sometimes I need a little push. So, yeah, that is it. Next time I'll talk about some of the top lists, I think, and we shall see what happens in Sweden. That's it from me. I will talk to you next time. Cheers.